Okay, so this was the page that we created in the last lecture. We imported Bootstrap into our base layout HTML, and we extended that base layout into our home page. Inside the base layout, we have our navbar, our title, and inside the homepage.html, we rendered out the cards that contained all that blog title and blog description. Fine. Now what we need some way to go to a new page, and that page will render out an input form. Okay, and as we saw in earlier lectures, how can we go to a new page is that we can create a small button over here, and once I click that button, I should render out another page. Okay, so first of all, let's create a small button inside our navbar. So our navbar is located inside the base layout.html. Okay, so once I am inside my base layout.html, this is the code for my navbar. Here you can see home, about, contact, and here I can create a new li. Li means the list item, that is again having a class of nav item. Okay, and then inside this li I can create a button that will have a class of button. We can just give it primary class, and that button should say new post or new blog, anything we can say. I'll just save it, and if I go back to my front page, I should see a button over here which says new post. But when I click this, nothing is basically happening because we didn't give any specified path to this button, right? So let's try to do that. Okay, before that, make sure can everyone hear me and see my screen, because I think connection is little weak today. Just let me know in the chat box. Okay, fine. So let's continue. We have created this small button over here, and we need to assign it a URL that will take us to the new post page, right? So how can we create a URL around this blog is that we can just wrap this whole content inside. If instead of giving a button over here, we'll just wrap it inside an anchor tag. Okay, so if I wrap it inside an anchor tag, so this should work basically fine the same way. But now I need to give a path over here once I click this new button. Okay, so path can be given using href, and I'll say href go to new post. Okay, so this is a path that I am giving to this button. Once the button is clicked, it is going to request for a URL new post. Okay, so let's try to click this button. Okay, once we click this button, this is going to take us to a path called blog/new post. Okay, why blog/new post? Because blog was our base URL, right? Inside the root app, we have written blog as the base URL, and whatever we write after that is going to take us to blog/new post. Fine. So now we have this URL blog/new post, and if we check out our cycle, this cycle we have created, right? So what is happening? A template is requesting a URL. Okay, so what was our template? Okay, our template was this home page. Blog/home is our current template, and now this template is requesting a new URL, blog new post. Okay, so what's happening? Template is requesting a URL. Now we need to enter this URL into our urs.py file. So let's try to do that. What we'll do, we will just go to our urs.py, and as we have created a home over here, we'll also create path for new post. Okay, so once I create a path for new post, I need to assign it to a function that will handle this that will handle this URL, right? Because a URL will call a function. So the function name I'll give is again new post, and I need to write this function now. So let's just import it for now. Okay, so now what's happening? I have registered this new post URL into my urs.py file. So now if I go back to my front page here and back to home, okay, this is not running. Okay, we forgot to give a comma over here, because if you forget a comma it's going to give an error. Okay, so now again not running, cannot import new post. Okay, we need to write this function first, new post. So here I am into my views.py file. Let's create this function, define new post, and this will again take a request. Okay, and we need to return, just for now we'll return an HTTP response that create new blogs here. Okay, so this is the response that is given out by this function, and save this, and now the server is running. Okay, so if I go back to home and click on new post, this should give me again page not found. What's happening? Okay, this slash is creating a problem over here. Okay, so now when we go to new post URL, this is going to tell me create new blogs over here. Okay, so now what's happening, we have seen this cycle first also. This home page is requesting a URL new post, and once we click on new post, we are going to a URL /blog/new post. Okay, and once we encounter /blog/new post, inside our urls.py we have said that once new post is encountered, go to this function new post, which is into our views folder, and once inside the views, what we are doing, we are just returning an HTTP response, create a new blog here. Okay, so where were we? Inside our homepage.html. Okay, this slash. Okay, so now it is clear that once we click on new post, this is taking us to a new page, that is new post. Fine. So now we need to create our form over here. That is, we need to create some form in which the user will enter the data of our blogs. Fine. So let's try to create a form over here, but before that we need to create this HTML page. Right now we are just rendering out an HTTP response, but we need an HTML page over here. Okay, so let's try to do that. Inside our templates folder, inside the blog folder, we are going to create a new file, and we'll name it as new post.html. Okay, and again this new post.html is going to extend our base layout, because base layout is the main layout and every other HTML pages will extend it. So we'll just write extends fine, and then we need to write the block content, because this is the placeholder that we have created inside the base layout block content, and we also need to end it. Okay, fine, this is created, and inside this we can write an h1 tag that will just say ki create new blog here. Okay, that means we'll be knowing that we are inside our new blog.html. Once this HTML page is created, we need to render this out inside our view function. Currently we are just rendering out and we are just returning an HTTP response, but we don't need to return this. What we need to return render request, and the HTML page is inside the blog directory, and the name is new post.html. Okay, so now this function will render this new post.html. Fine. So if I go back here and fine, so now directly you can see we have this navbar and we also have this jumbotron, because these navbar and this jumbotron is from base layout.html, and now create a new blog here is from the new post.html. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you write inside this navbar and this title is going to be constant throughout your website, because they are inside base layout. Fine. Also we need to create a button, we need to give link to this home, right? Because we gave link to new post, but we also go back to home if we click on home. So how we can do that is, we know where the home page is. Basically it is at blog home. Okay, so blog home is going to take us to, sorry, not again slash, you don't, okay, blog home is going to take us to this home page. So we need to mention that inside our navbar. So inside the base layout.html, in the navbar here inside this href, we need to tell that take me back to home page, not the new post. Okay, so now if I refresh this, this is taking me to new post and this is taking me to home. Okay, so new post and home, new post and home. Okay, this is clear how we are going from one page to another. This button is requesting for home URL and home URL is rendering out the home page. This button is requesting for new post URL and new post URL is rendering out the new post page. Fine. So this is very basic and very clear. Now we need to create a form over here that will just make us create this blog. Okay, so how can we create a form is that if we go back to newpost.html and instead of writing this over here, let's try to create an actual blog, actual container. So div class container. Okay, and whatever we write inside this is going to be our form. Okay, so what do we need right now? We need, let's have h2 class will give us text center. Okay, and here we can write that again the same thing, create new blog. Okay, and we have our header ready, and now we can create a form, and inside form we need to give the text fields, right? We need to give the fields what we want from the user. So first of all, we need an input of type text having a placeholder. Placeholder is basically the text you want to display inside your field. So we'll just say title here, and then we need to give a name to this field. So we'll give the name as title. Okay, then we need to create a text area, because a description is not one line, right? We can have multiple lines inside a description. So basically text area means a large area where you can write something. So we can just give it a placeholder of write the blog here. Okay, and if I save this and if we go back to our new post page, you shall see there is a title and there is a place to write a blog over here. You can expand this. Okay, so this is how you create a simple form. This is a title and here you can write your body. Currently this is not actually looking very good. We'll design it using Bootstrap, but basically this is your form. You need to enter the title over here and you can enter the description over here. Okay, and then we need a button that is going to submit this form. Okay, like post the blog. So let's create a button over here. We'll just say input type submit, and its name will be, or we can just give value equal to post, and we'll give it a class as button primary. Okay, so let's check it out. So now we have a post button over here. Currently it is not going anywhere, but we have a post button. Okay, so we can enter our title, we can enter the description, and then we can post this blog. Fine. So quickly let's design this using Bootstrap. So what we'll do is I'll go back to my Bootstrap documentation. Okay, Bootstrap 4, inside introduction to Bootstrap. Okay, here you can see inside components you have form component. Okay, these are the forms. So let's try to collect a form from here, and this is an example of form, or how you can create forms. Okay, so here we have an example of text area, here we have example of a text input. So you can pick up any input that you want. So what we're going to do is, let's say I want this email address, but we'll enter title over there. So where is it? It is basically here. So what we'll do, we'll just pick up this only this much code, copy it, and let's get back to our code. And instead of writing this input over here, I'll just paste the code that I copied from the Bootstrap page. Okay, and we don't need these things. Instead of writing email address, we'll give the label as blog title, and here in the placeholder we'll say enter title. Okay, and then we don't need this another things ID, and I'll just delete them. And instead of type email, I'll do type text. Okay, so now once this input field is created, let's take a look how it is looking. Okay, so now you can see this looks much better, right? You can enter your blog title over here, and it says enter title right here. So now let's try to design this text area. So again, in the forms here you can see there is an example of text area. Example text area is the label, and that is over here, this small div over here. So let's try to copy it and go back to our code, and instead of making our own text area over here, we'll just paste it whatever we have copied. Okay, so now we have example text area. Instead of that, we'll just give it a label as blog, or we'll just give body. Okay, and then yeah, that is it. We'll just remove. Okay, let's let it be. Fine. So once that is done, we can see, okay, we have a title and we have a body. So this looks much better. You can increase the height of this body by specifying the number of rows that you want. Yeah, basically rows were only 3. If I make it 5 and save it and refresh it again, so here you can see this is basically increased. Okay, so now we have a title and we have our body, and then we have our post button. Fine. So this is how you can create a blog over here, but just by making this simple form. Okay, so we have our home page, and once we click into new post, this is going to render out this page that says enter the title, and then we have some space to write the body of our blog. Okay, so is it clear to everyone what we have did till now, how we have created a simple form using form tag and Bootstrap? Okay, so now what's happening over here is that we can enter the data. Let's say we have 5 blogs, so this will be the 6th blog, and then we can create some random body over here. Okay, blah blah, this is the body. Okay, so now once I write this blog, that is the name and the body of the blog, and if I hit post, this is not basically going anywhere, right? Or even if I hit post, all the data is been vanished. So now what we need to do, we need to handle this form. That is, we need to take this data from the user. We need to create a function that will retrieve this data from the front page. Okay, and it will store this data into the database. So now how we can basically do that? So let's have a look on how we can create a function that will handle this data. So now what's happening is that inside our form tag, okay, so this is the form tag, right? We need to specify some parameters, or we need to specify some attributes. First of it is the method, and that will be post. Okay, because we need to post the data that is stored inside our form into our function or into the URL, a new URL, right? And that URL will take care of all the data that is been passed to it. So the form should post the data. So the method we are going to give is post. Then where do we have to post this data? We need to give it an action. Okay, so in action, we need to specify the URL where we need to post this data. So we need to post this data on new post. Okay, and then what we need is, okay, it's enough. So now our form is posting all the data on the URL new post. Okay, so let's try to have a look on this. Okay, so now what's happening, whenever I try to post this data, it is saying CSRF verification failed, request aborted. So now what is basically CSRF is that also it is giving us a help, right? CSRF token missing. And in general, this can occur in genuine cross-site request when Django say, okay, we don't have to go in much detail, but this says that in the template there is a CSRF token, and template tag inside each post gets that token. Okay, so why is Django forbidding us to create a form or to post the data is because security reasons. Okay, each URL or each request that we are making to the URLs or the server are being secured, and they are secured by a unique token, and each token is called a CSRF token. Okay, so when we are trying to post a data to a URL, we need to secure it by providing the CSRF token. We ourselves don't need to provide this token. Django helps to do that, but we need to specify this thing over here. I'll just copy this CSRF token, and what we need to do, we need to specify this token after the form. Okay, so now after you create this form, make sure you specify the CSRF token for security purpose. Okay, you don't have to go in details how these tokens are generated or what basically this token does, but all you need to know is that you need to pass a CSRF token to each and every form that you create in Django. Okay, suppose you create another form that is user registration form or user login form. So each and every form that posts some data to the URL needs to go through this CSRF token. So that is very important thing. Okay, so let's try to post this data now, and we'll create something here. Okay, just this much, and when I click post, nothing is actually happening. Okay, why is nothing happening? Because we are just posting this data to our, what you can say, we can just posting this data to the URL, but we are not handling this data. So now how we can handle this data is that we need to create a function that will handle this data. Okay, so now we are saying that we are passing this all data to an action or to a URL called new post. And if we see in the urls.py file, that what basically new post is doing, new post is calling a function inside the views that is also called new post. Okay, and what this function is doing for us is this function is only rendering out the HTML page, but we don't want it to render the HTML page. What we need to do, we need to also, this function should also handle the data that we are passing to it. And how we are passing the data, we are passing the data in the form of a post request, right? A post request is going to post the data to this function. So let's try to write that, it will be much clearer. What we are going to say, this function is handling a request, right? This function is handling a request. So what I'll say, if request dot method equal post. Okay, so if the request is posting something to this function, we need to handle this function. Okay, and if it is not posting, else we just need to return the HTML page. Okay, so actually this is a very important syntax. What a function basically does, a function will either handle the request or will render out a page. So when we go over here from home to new post, okay, from home to new post, we are requesting the URL /box/new post, but right now we are not posting anything to this page. Okay, from home, when we come to this first time new post, we are not posting anything to this URL. That's why our request method is not post. So we just have to render out this page. But once we create the data inside this page, and once we click this button, we are posting this data to this URL new post, and now this new post has to handle that data, and that data is passed using a method post, right? So what we did over here, if request.method is post, then we need to handle that data. If it is not post, just render out the page. Okay, so now how we can basically handle the data. So what we need to do inside our new post.html, we need to give names to each and every input field. Okay, so let's try to give name to this field. Okay, and this field we are entering the title, so we'll give name as title, and this field is text area, and it is entering the body, so we'll give it a name as body. Okay, so now these names are useful in the views.py file to locate each and every field inside our form. Okay, so let's try to handle these input data inside the views.py file. So now what we'll say, we'll create a variable title that is going to request dot post title. So whatever this request has a name title, it is being stored inside this variable. And similarly we can collect the body. Okay, so this is the way that we have collected the data that was passed in. Okay, this data was posted onto the request by the method post. Okay, so what we say, if the URL is posting something, or if the URL is handling some data, then that means that request has a method of post. Okay, so if the request.method is post, collect whatever the data that is being posted on this function inside these variables title and body. Once we have our title and body, we need to create the object of our model. Okay, so we have imported this model of blogs. Now we need to store this title and body into this model, that is the database table. Okay, so how we can do that? So we need, first of all, we need to create a new object, that is, we'll say new blog equal to blog. And what are the fields of this model? So let's check the fields of this model in models.py. We have the field of title and body. As date is automatically added, we don't have to care about that, just title and body. So what we'll do, that title equal to the title that we have collected, that is title, and body is equal to the body that we have collected from the post request, so body. Okay, so now once this object is created, we need to save this into the database, new blog.save. Okay, that is how you save this newly created object into the database, saying new blog.save. And once it is saved, what we need to do, we need to again go back to our home page, right? So what we can do is over here is return. Before that we need we'll say use a method called redirect. Redirect will take us to a new URL. Okay, so we need to import that first, redirect. Okay, again where we have imported rendered and HTTP response, again import redirect. Okay, once we have redirect imported, what we need to do, we need to redirect this to /blog, inside the string we can say /blog/home. Okay, or you can just give home, it doesn't matter, just make sure your URLs are correct. So now what's happening right now, let's try to create a blog and it will be much clear. I think this should work actually. Okay, this is blogs, this is not blog, this is blogs. Okay, so we have completed our function and let's see if it's running, and then I'll explain it again in detail. So if we go back and refresh our page, let's try to create a blog. I'll give it a title 6th blog, and I'll just give this is the okay, and once I hit post, it should take me to the home page. And now if I scroll back down, we can see our 6th block is created. Okay, so now we have successfully created our own blog instead of going to the admin page and creating our blog through the admin. What we did first of all, okay, I'll just repeat the whole process that we did from the start. Okay, just make sure everything is clear, because this is very important thing, how to handle the data from a form. So I'll just repeat everything that we have done till now. What we did, first of all, we created this button new post. To that button we assigned a URL, new post URL, that will go to /blog/home, /blog/new post. Okay, so when I click this button, it is going to take me to a URL new post, and inside this new post I have written a function that is going to render out this HTML page. Okay, once this HTML page is rendered out, I am going to write in some data. So let's try to create the 7th block. Okay, so I've created, I'll enter some data over here. I'll just give in some random text. Okay, so once this data has been entered inside the form, what we did, we created a method that says if you are posting some data to the URL, then that function will handle that data. Okay, so now if I click this post and if I go back here, you can see our 7th block is created. Fine, let's have a look at the code. What we have done is initially we go to our homepage.html, sorry, not homepage, the layout, base layout.html. Inside base layout.html, in the nav bar that we have created, in the nav bar we have created this small li tag over here. In the li tag we gave an anchor tag that is saying new post. Okay, to this button we assigned a URL that is new post. Okay, so once this button is clicked, then we are going to pass to this new post. Okay, and inside our urls.py we handle this path, saying once this path is encountered, we need to go to this function, and once this function is called, what this function initially is doing is it is just rendering out this new post.html. Okay, because currently we don't have any post request. What we have is a simple render request. Okay, once the button is clicked. Okay, so once the button is clicked, we are having a /new post URL. We are rendering out this new post.html that you can see over here. Once we go click on new post, okay, we are rendering out this new post.html. Fine. After this new post.html is rendered out, we created this HTML page that is extending our base layout, but also we have created a simple form using Bootstrap. Okay, so in that simple form we created a input field that is of type text, which will handle our title, and then we created a text area. Okay, then we made sure that each input inside the form will have a unique name. This is named as title and this is named as body. Okay, so once this HTML page is created, our job is done. Then we had a input button over here that has a type submit, and it has a value post. Okay, that is just the name. And what this button is doing, okay, this button is submitting the form, and once the form is submitted, the method was post. Okay, make sure the form method is post, and the action means the URL where you need to post this data. I am telling this form to post all the data inside the URL new post. Fine. So when we go to new post, that is again the function or again the URL, the new post is calling this function again. But right now we don't want to render out the page again. We need to handle the data that has been posted to the URL. So how we can handle that data? We will just say if the request.method is post, then collect the data that has been posted inside this variable. Then we created a new object of the model. Okay, this is a new block. We created a new object of the model. We assigned the values to the attributes of it, and we saved it. After this new block is saved, then we again redirect it to the home page, where the home page is rendering out all the blocks that were stored in the database. And now how this new block is stored in the database, we just said new block.save, and that is going to save this block inside the database. Okay, and that's why when we go to the home page, we will see all the blocks that we have created. We have created this 6th block and this 7th block. Okay, so I know this is a very long process, but once you get used to it, it is very simple. Okay, so please try to make this input form yourself. Just make this form, give a title, a body, and post the data to it. Okay, so currently the values are empty, right? And if I try to post this is going to create an empty block for me. Okay, that we need to handle out how we can save us from handling empty data, but we'll make sure that we will not submit the form unless and until it will have some values to it. Okay, that we'll see later, but currently all this process is clear to everyone. Any doubt? Do I have to repeat something again? Okay, I hope it's understood, because that's all we need to do. Okay, that is how we create an input form. Okay, and always remember, we are just importing bootstrap classes, so make sure you go to bootstrap and just copy out this code that they have already written for you. Make sure what data type or what field you need. If you need a text area, do you need a single form, do you need a password field? A password field will never show your data. Okay, it will only give out the stars or the rounds you need. So there are various type of data. You can even choose a file when we'll upload images to our blog. Okay, so this is how you can create a form using bootstrap, and it is very simple. So everything clear till now? Okay, what CSRF is? Basically, what you need to do is, before posting any data to a URL in Django, that is, even whenever you create a form that is going to have a method of post, you need to give a specific token. Okay, we don't know what that token is, we don't know what the value of the token is, but we need to tell Django that this is a secured data and pass it through a CSRF mechanism. It is only used for security of your data. It means that your data, that means what data we are passing right now? We are passing the title and the body. So this title and body will pass through an encrypted form through the URL. It is not been vulnerable, or no one can actually read that data once it is having the CSRF mechanism. And in order to have that mechanism, we need to pass in a CSRF token. Where did that go? A CSRF token to all our forms that is having a method post. Okay, so it is not very difficult, or you don't have to go in depth of mechanism what CSRF token or CSRF mechanism is. Just make sure whenever you create a form, at the top of it you give it a CSRF token that Django will automatically generate for you, and it will pass it in a secured form. Okay, okay, so for images we have a special lecture of adding media, and yeah, that is just the tomorrow's lecture. So today we have created input forms, and in tomorrow's lecture we are going to see how we can add media. That is, media means how we can add images to our blogs. Okay, because that is not a simple process, just create and pass it. We have to make some changes into our project, we have to do some settings, and then only we can handle this media. Okay, so we'll see how we can upload images and save it in the models in tomorrow's lecture. But is today's everything clear? I know it is a very confusing process, but make sure you practice it yourself and it will be cleared by, if you want, you can see this lecture again and again, and it is that simple. Okay, once it is understood, it is very simple to create and post the data through the URL and render it out into our home page. Okay, so is it clear to everyone what we saw today? Okay, so guys, that was it for today's lecture, as we have completed creating input forms. In tomorrow's lecture we'll see how we can add media to our blogs, and we can have thumbnails, and we can have pictures into our website. So before that, make sure you create this button, you create this simple form, and once that is posted, you can you should render out your new post into your home page. Okay, so if you have any doubts, put it into WhatsApp groups, and I hope everyone will complete till this stage. And we have almost completed the simple blog website in 2 lectures. In yesterday's lecture we have just created this front page, and in today's lecture we have created this form. So this is how basically a blogging website is, right? You can just give it your blog and you can post them, and they will be just shown inside this front page. Now some additional changes that we need to do: we need to make this search functional, then we need to add some images to this, and then in the user authentication, that is day after tomorrow's lecture, in user authentication we'll just see how a user can log in and then he can post it. Okay, so we'll do that in tomorrow's and day after tomorrow's lecture, and then our blog app will be completely ready. Fine. So I'll see you guys tomorrow with the media lecture, and I hope everyone will complete till this part, this new post. Okay, so bye bye. I'll see you guys tomorrow.